Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Sophocles' Philoktetes, and I got up to line 285. So we're halfway through this long recess, this long speech of Philoktetes, outlining the sufferings that he's gone through. So he says, Homin chronos dei diachronou prou by nemoi, and time, on the one hand, in fact. This is from pro bino, and you get a contraction with the augment here. It means to advance or elapse. So time indeed has elapsed for me through time. A bit like our tempus fugit. Time marches on. It's imperfect. So time was marching, was advancing through time for me. Kai a cade for kai ede, and it was necessary. Now the main infinitive here is diakonesthai. This in the middle, the force of the middle here is to look after oneself. So diakonio is to serve, and in the middle to serve oneself, to look after oneself. And it was necessary for me to look after myself alone in some way, and then under this by here little roof, this little hut, it's actually a cave or something, this little dwelling, we might say, for stege, perhaps humble for baya. So it was necessary for me, being alone, to look after myself in some way under this humble abode. We get another min, and this one I think is balanced by a det here. And toxon toddy, we have mentioned here again, of course, of this important bow. This bow found the sumphora, the things which are expedient to the stomach. So it found for me my daily food, my needful things which are expedient for my stomach, and this is an imperfect without augment. Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's a present participle agreeing with toxon, isn't it? So it's neuter. So striking the winged peleus, these are doves. So this is a participle agreeing with toxon. So striking these winged doves. Prostitute, and something like up to this point. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the idea of he's got to get himself. He shoots it with the bow and arrow, but he's got to get there. So going to this, getting up to this thing, that the thing which, so approaching, getting up to the thing which my neurospades attractos. Attractos here I'm going to translate by arrow, but it actually is the word used for a spindle in weaving. A neurospades, the word only occurs here. It means drawn by the that's the spar root, drawn by the string. So string drawn arrow. So to this thing which my string drawn arrow might strike for me, optative. I, wretched me. Now we get an plus the imperfect from a luo. So I, poor wretch, I would crawl, dragging my wretched foot. So the pros really is going after this verb. So I would crawl, dragging my wretched foot, alas, to that thing which my string-drawn arrow might strike for me. And he repeats pros taut an. So it's really affecting both of these, because this is so far separated from the verb. It gets repeated again. So he would drag his foot up to this thing, up to this object that he'd struck. Now the imperfect with an is sometimes called an iterative imperfect. It adds to a sense of infrequency, so it's got the idea that, I didn't do it very often, so I went hungry most of the time, but when I could, this is what I did. And if it was necessary in any way also to get hold of something to drink, literally to take a drink, kai pu pagu kuthentes, and perchance, now this is a genitive absolute here, I think. So it's something like the pagu, it's connected with pagnumi, but here it's the frost. So when the frost was being poured out, literally, so when the frost was spreading around, such things as happen kaimati in winter, and thralsai, literally to break any wood. Xulon is, this is firewood, or to break any wood, because he had no axe, he's got no tools here, he's had to break the wood himself. Wretched I, creeping out, I would devise these things. Now again, we get imperfect with an, this sense of infrequently. So in other words, when there was frost, such as happens in winter, and to it being necessary to break wood, creeping out, wretched me, I would accomplish these things. And then, since fire, again iterative an with the imperfect, was not present, but, I see, mollis with difficulty, ek tribone, rubbing a stone, literally in stone, so against stones, I would now ephane, I brought to light, so it's, I brought to light that invisible, this will be unseen, that invisible light. So literally I made visible the invisible light, which also continually kept me safe. For the roof dwelling along with fire, notice the accent on meta because it goes with peros, along with fire, provides all things except for me not to be diseased. So it kept everything, it provided everything for me except perhaps release from my disease. Fairer, come, O child, now also learn, mate, subjunctive of wish, may you learn, well, it's something like the nature of this illness. No sailor, literally one who steps foot on a ship, no sailor willingly draws near here, that's it, to this island. For there is no hormas, there is no anchorage, nor sailing, literally to where, so nor sailing where, and then we're going to go to the next page, where he might, so it's a future here, where he might do trade, conduct trade, for gain, or might receive, might be received as a xenos, as a guest friend. Might be received as a guest friend. So this is really middle with passive meaning here. The future passive of this verb does not apparently occur. So it's where he might trade for gain or be received as a xenos, a guest friend. Now the next bit, uk and thard. So this is plotos is a voyage. So the voyages for those of men who are wise, literally going to supply are not here. In other words, wise men do not make a voyage here, but literally the voyages for the wise among mortals are not here. And perhaps therefore someone akon, for akon, unwillingly, eske is often used in that technical sense of to put in here. So perchance therefore someone might against their will put in here, for many of these things happen, or these things happen muchly, they would happen muchly in the long time of men, so in the long life of men or something. Artoi me, but they, whenever they do come, this is from blosko, the aorist is emelon, irregular verb, blosko, molumai in the future, emelon, and then membloko in the perfect. So this is aorist subjunctive, but they, whenever they do come, my child, they have pity on me on the one hand, logos with words, and perchance also they might give, so having pitied me, they might give some portion of food or some clothing. Now there's the balancing debt here. So they, whenever they do come, O child, they have pity on me with words. And you'll notice the cascading accents here. The t is enclitic, puts its accent back on pu, which is enclitic, puts its accent back on chi. So they, whenever they do come, my child, they pity me with their words, and perchance even in pity they might give, understand me, some portion of food, or some stolen, some clothing. But, and there is a big but here, but whenever I might make mention of it, no one wishes that thing. And then he explains what it is with this infinitive. That thing, that is to save me, to rescue me home, literally to save me to my home. But, poor me, I am perishing, this being the 10th year, in my hunger and in my troubles, tending the adephagon noson. This is again a funny word. It means eating. You can see the fag root here and the adane, eating to excess. So it's something like devouring or gluttonous disease, which is gnawing at his leg. So tending this gluttonous or devouring disease. The sons of Atreus, and it's very Homeric here, the strength of Odysseus. We would say strong Odysseus. Homer says the strength of someone, referring to them, and so Sophocles is a great admirer, of course, of Homer, and he uses some of these special Homerisms. So the sons of Atreus, and we would say mighty Odysseus, have done such things, O boy. And for whom may, it's optative of wish here, may the Olympian gods one day, may they grant to them to suffer the recompense for my suffering, recompense from me or for me. So the sons of Atreus and mighty Odysseus have done these things, O boy, and may the gods grant to them to one day to them for them to suffer. So the hois and the autois really, the autois is really going with the antipoin, I think. Requital. So for them may the Olympian gods grant requital one day for them, repeated, to suffer the things that I have suffered. The chorus now say, E oika cargo for kai ago. I seem, and I also seem, to pity you equally, this is adverbial here, equally to the strangers who have arrived, from Aphicnaeami, O son of Poias. That is the next part, and that is the end of his Rhesus and the next part of the play.